Hey, welcome. Today, we're going to talk about something we're all guilty of, the cult of being busy. In this explainer, we are diving right into the busyness trap and taking a look at how the truly wealthy stay in control. And spoiler alert, it's not by doing more, but by doing things, well, a lot differently. Think about it. How many times a day do you hear someone say, or even say yourself, "Oh, I'm just so busy"? It's like a default response, right? But what if that constant hustle isn't the badge of honor we think it is? What if it's actually a trap we've all just walked straight into?
Okay, so this is a pretty provocative idea, but it's really the core of what our source material is getting at. The whole argument is that running around like a headless chicken isn't a sign that you're important. Nope, it's actually a symptom of having zero real control over your own life. It's a powerful thought, and maybe, just maybe, a little uncomfortable.
So, to figure out how to escape this trap, we first have to really understand the problem itself. Let's dig into what we're calling the cult of busy.
This lays it out perfectly. It's like there are two different worlds you can live in. Over on the left, you've got the busy mindset. You're just constantly reacting to things, you feel kind of desperate, and ultimately, you're not in the driver's seat. But on the right, that's the goal, the intentional mindset. You're calm, you're deliberate, and you are in full control. The whole point here is to figure out how to get from the left side of this chart to the right.
All right, so how do we actually make that jump? How do we go from reactive to deliberate? Well, the answer lies in adopting a whole new way of thinking, intentionality.
And this is the key right here, this idea of mindset mastery. This isn't about some complicated productivity app or a 500-step plan. It's much simpler and much deeper than that. It's a fundamental shift in how you approach your day, choosing to move with purpose, with intention, instead of just being dragged along by the frantic energy of a chaotic schedule.
Okay, so that all sounds great in theory, but how do you actually apply it? Let's break down the first of two really practical pillars to get us there. First up, pace as power.
I know, this feels completely backward, especially in a world that just screams, faster, faster. But just think about it for a second. Rushing is almost always a sign that you're not actually in control. The people who have real power, real freedom, they move slowly. They're deliberate. Why? Because they've given themselves time to think.
And here's exactly why they can do that. When you truly own your calendar, you're not just a victim of it. You build in the space you need. That means blocking out time for deep work, it means having the confidence to say no to meetings that don't matter, and it means treating your own priorities like they're a critical appointment. You control the day doesn't control you. And that control is what lets you move at a slower, smarter pace.
Now for our second pillar, and this one is all about protecting your most valuable and most limited resource, your mental energy. This is what we're calling decision preservation. You wake up and you're faced with a ton of little decisions, right? What should I wear? What's for breakfast? Should I answer this email now or later? Each one of those seemingly harmless choices is like a tiny withdrawal from your mental bank account. It's called decision fatigue. And by the time you need to make a really big, important call, you're running on empty.
So how do you stop the drain? The process is actually super simple. First, just identify those little low-stakes decisions you make over and over again. Step 2, create a system to eliminate them. Think about Steve Jobs and his famous black turtleneck. That was his uniform. It was one less decision to make every morning. When you do this, you preserve that precious mental energy, which means you can then focus all your brain power on the big decisions that are actually going to move the needle.
Okay, let's wrap all this up and talk about the big takeaway. This is all about making a conscious, deliberate shift in how you operate, moving from just being busy to being truly intentional.
So here's your new game plan. First, you've got to stop seeing busyness as a measure of success. It's not. Second, own your pace by taking control of your calendar. Third, ruthlessly eliminate those trivial decisions to save your energy for what actually matters. The entire goal is to shift out of that desperate, reactive energy of being busy and into the quiet, focused power of being intentional.
So we'll leave you with this final thought, a little challenge. This isn't about changing your whole life in one day. It's about starting small. So take a look at the week ahead and ask yourself this. What is one small, trivial decision you can completely eliminate or automate right now to get back a little bit more of your focus and control? Thanks for joining us.